Right, for this session we're going to make a hinged book. We're not going to do the book covers just yet, I'm going to show you that in a different video. But just to show you that this, in order to make this book longer than one of these simple structures, I've used another length of paper and hinged it to show you another example of that. I've got this book, which is really long, and that has got a hinge here and a hinge here. So if I show you that at the back, you can see what I call a hinge, and here, which means you can make your books go on for as long as you want them to go on for. You could do them in Japanese papers, handmade papers, and play around with all sorts of imagery and textures. So in order to do that, you start with your A4 sheet. Obviously you can use bigger paper, you can use A3, which will give you more length, A2. But this is just to give you the principle of how to do a hinge. Now this is where you need some precise measurement, because we need to leave enough for the hinge. So I'm going to do 3 folds with this one. So I'm going to measure these as each page is going to be 9 centimetres. So 9 centimetres. And I'm doing quite a long mark, but really all you need is a simple dot with a nice sharp pencil. But I'm doing a bit more of a mark so that you can hopefully see that on the video. And then I'm going to mark another 9 centimetres. Do that again here. So that will leave me just over 2 centimetres at the edge to make my hinge. And I'm going to fold this in the way that I want it to fold. So I'm actually going to have an inward fold this way and an outward fold this way. Just to show you, I do have something called a bone folder, which you can buy from any bookmaking suppliers, and that just enables you to make your folds a lot cleaner. You don't need to, it's just if you want to get a crisper finish. And lastly, I'm going to fold in my hinge. So I end up with this. I'm going to do the same with the next sheet, marking 9 centimetres. It's my maths there failing me. So they're each 9 centimetres apart. And then for this one, I don't need this hinge, so I'm going to cut that off. Because I'm not going to make anything longer than that. I'm just going to make one join to show you. If I was going to go on, then I'd leave that hinge on to follow on to the next piece. You fold that forwards and backwards. Not quite got that. Just trying to see my marks. So then you can see that I will hinge that there. Hang on. There, and then I have my continuing concertina. Now in order to do that I need to put glue on this, and I'm going to use PVA glue. You could just use Pritt Stick, but in case you have a thicker paper, PVA glue will hold it better. So I'm going to just get some newspaper or scrap paper to put underneath. And then you want a nice straight edge piece of paper I'm going to turn it that way because I'm right-handed. So you've got your paper to protect your surface, unless you're using a white free surface, but I would use some paper. And then I'm going to get a straight edge piece of scrap paper just to protect my book leaves. Getting some PVA glue and an ordinary brush. You do get special brushes for book binding, but I'm just going to use an ordinary brush that you might have at home. Cheap children's painting brush. And then we just stipple that glue on, making sure that all of the paper has got glue on it. This paper hinge. Right, lift your scrap paper out of the way so you've got a nice straight line there that way. Get your gluey paper out of the way. And then I'm going to line that up along that fold. And I will get another piece of clean scrap paper. Just put that over the top. It's quite important to try and keep your surfaces clean and glue free, other than the bits where you need the glue. We'll just re-establish that fold. And there you have your hinged book. And you can carry on for as long as you want to with that hinging.